Hi, my name is Autumn Campbell, and this is my video for the Week 1 assignment in ITI 672. This video is going to be reviewing and reflecting on the Inspire module. There were three main takeaways I got from this Inspire module: teachers as technicians versus agents of change, mindsets and actions, and being a culturally responsive teacher. So teachers as technicians is a phrase that I had not heard before. It was something that was new to me. So teachers as technicians, they are teachers who have really refined technical skills. They really have a deep understanding of the content. And sometimes they believe that their only job is to teach the content. And they often believe that schools are neutral and function as meritocracy. Teachers that are agents of change understand that there are achievement gaps between different types of students. They know that schools and society are connected, and they know that schools can either challenge or reproduce inequities. And they push against the idea that someone has to fail. Instead, they believe that all students can reach success. So what did I take away from this idea and learning about these two different types of teachers? Well, I know in the module they really push the idea that teachers should be agents of change, and I do completely agree. But I also think that there are great skills and ideas that teachers as technicians also have. So I think it's important to have a balance of both. But I think that agents of change really go the next step, and they really invest in their students, learn about them, learn about their culture, and that's really such a key to being an influential teacher. I also learned that understanding students and their situation is key, and that teachers must strive to be culturally relevant. Also, culturally responsive pedagogy is something that I continue to learn about in each of these Inspire modules. So an article that I found had this great quote, and I'll summarize it. It basically says that educational achievements are not brought about technically, but that educational achievements are the creative outcome of particular times, places, and people. And so really what it's saying is that educational achievements are not just academic success, but they're also SEL skills and also relationships and happiness, right? It's all of it in one. Next key takeaway that I had was mindsets and actions. So what basically they said in the module is that teachers need to have a mindset that schools can produce change, that good teaching helps students develop skills for challenging inequity, and that their job is to make the curriculum, responsive. And that once they have these mindsets, actions will be produced, like using cultural experiences in the classroom and holding student cultural and social identities at the center of teaching, and working towards social justice and working against inequality. What I got from this takeaway is that the mindset needs to be created before the actions can be taken. And what I think they're trying to say is that once your brain and once you as a teacher start thinking this way and start believing that these are core ideas that need to be accomplished, the actions will become instinct. They also talked about, and what I took from it, is that mindset is continually developing, and that actions must be consistent and persistent, and that cultural information comes from relationships with students. This is so key, building relationships with students. Another quote from another article that I found that really supports this idea. Again, I will summarize. I really love the ending. Says, the why of your strategic efforts are infinitely more important than the what. And so what they're saying is where you're coming from is really going to make a change on your actions and be influential to your students. Last key takeaway from this Inspire module is being a culturally responsive teacher. So this means that you choose content based on the students' lives, you disrupt stereotypes and biases, you involve the students in their coursework, you build on students' backgrounds, you learn about them, and you demonstrate authentic caring. I really love everything that they had to say about being culturally responsive. I think it's so important to know where your students are coming from and what they've experienced, and to make an effort to include that into the classroom. So these are some of the ideas and main things that I took away from this, that connecting with families is so important. And a quote from an article that I found really talks about how to care for your students instead of just caring about them. And so I really found that this quote was very impactful. It says, "The point of culturally responsive teaching is to respond to students in ways that build and sustain meaningful, positive relationships. That is to care for them rather than care about them." And so I think it's really focusing on that action of caring for our students. So what information was new to me? The module, like I said, teaching as a technician was new. Having a deeper understanding of how the content applies to the student's world. Culturally responsive pedagogy is something that I keep learning about in each of these modules, and that it exists in content, methods, and relationships. There's always a way to incorporate it. So how do I plan to apply these ideas in my own classroom? Here are a few ideas that I thought about. Finding out the culture of my students, involving them in the creation of lessons and study topics, like the teacher Alicia in the module, involving their families and their family culture into the classroom and content. Research has shown from the article, Building Parent-Teacher Relationships, that the more the parents and the teachers work together, the more successful the student's going to be. Also want to create teacher check-ins to receive feedback from my students and parents and really be able to improve my teaching skills. And just like John, who spoke as an example teacher in the module, create deep relationships with my students and really get to know them. And lastly, I really want to collaborate with other teachers and learn from them and learn about what they're doing and what's been successful or has not been successful with them. And there are many articles that support this idea of collaborating with teachers to become better teachers and refine your skills. So the last thing I want to talk about is school, home, and community and the partnership between the three and how that connects to the Inspire module. So if teachers truly are agents of change, then they are able to influence these partnerships. So I won't read all of this. I will attach the slideshow in the portal, but some of the key ideas are teachers seek to understand their culture and the families that are in their classroom. They include the students' experiences in the classroom. They have the agent of change mindset and they act on it. And they disrupt stereotypes and biases. At the end of the module, Inspire people said that when it comes down to it, teaching is really based on love. And I thought that was so powerful. The hope is that every teacher would be coming from a place of love and care for their students, and that at the center, it would be what is best for the students. And so I thought that was really impactful and really powerful. So thank you for listening today as I talked about what I learned in this Inspire module. Here are my references. I will also attach this slideshow with my quotes and some more ideas and the Blackboard portal. Thank you.